Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel. Alright, you may notice we are on the road currently with a flatbed trailer hooked up. Now, what does that mean? That means we're getting into some trouble today. You see, my regular 9 to 5 is a little bit slow right now, so I'm out doing some side work, and good buddy of mine over at Roughhouse Garage, you know, him and I have been always hunting tractors and old iron, and he and I are always sharing ads back and forth, and sometimes I go on the occasional wild goose chase, and likewise he does it for me, I do it for him. So today we're on a mission. I'm headed to go retrieve a John Deere 420C crawler tractor. Now this one popped up on Marketplace. There's like 100 other people looking at it. I luckily somehow got through a message to him because we were joking about it yesterday on our way home from the auction. And, well, here I am right now. I pulled into his place, and he goes, turn around, here's some cash, get to work. So, I'm on my way, and we're going to go see where this takes us. But here's our quick intro. We're going to go do a quick recovery. I'm going to try to film as much of it as I can. I don't have permission from the landowners or anything yet, so I'm going to try to get that. But if not, I'll try to document what I can. But anyway, stay tuned, folks. This is going to be a good one. Well, folks, here we have her. 1958 John Deere 420C with a Model 61 angle dozer blade and a factory 3-point hitch. Yep, this here's the score, folks. Immaculate condition. The rollers are in great condition. All the rock guards are still there. Everything's complete. We have no idea if the engine turns over though, so this ought to be an adventure. Factory John Deere 3-point hitch. Steering clutches are very tight, which is not a good thing because John Deeres are a nightmare. But hey, that's what we get. But everything else is very, very straight. You can still faintly see the 420 written in the side. Cutting edges are toasted on the blade, but we can fix that. We made it home. End of the day, it's been killing me to know this entire day whether the engine in this thing's loose or not. We're doing the initial inspection right now, and that consists of, you know, I already did a little bit when I was looking at it. No coolant in it. Engine oil, it's pretty grimy, but that's to be expected. And it's the old paraffin base, so we'll get rid of it. We're gonna have to trim some aftermarket stuff that somebody built off. Get things, you know, sanitized a little bit. But overall, this thing's cherry. I mean, everything's straight. The grill's mint. The sheet metal's in great shape. The tracks are in great shape. The blade mounts are worse for wear, but that's to be expected. John Deere was never known for their longevity on pins and bushings. Still, even to this day, it's something they fight. That's why I'm a cat guy. I'm actually amazed at how preserved it is. So, I believe we're the third owners, so that's kind of a unique situation. Makes for kind of a cool deal. But let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to throw a battery with some jumper cables on it real quick. Let's see if we can get it to crank over. All right, moment of truth. Whoa. Something going on there. I think we might have a welded starter switch, which is pretty common for these. Bummer. So now it appears we have a couple of things going on here. And first order of business, always throw a battery on it, see if we can get it to crank over. First thing I noticed, throw some cables on it. Starter's clicking, starter seems like it wants to do something. And cables are dramatically undersized for a 6-volt system. Something they also pointed out, it is original, so that means it's a positive ground. None of these tractors make any sense why they went positive ground, negative ground. Maybe somebody, if they know exactly the reason for it, they could drop it in the comments, but everything I've been told over the years, none of it makes any sense why they went one way or the other. They just did. So something to always be conscious of. So this one is a positive ground. We're jumping a 6-volt with 12. I know. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Let the haters hate, but when they've been sitting this long, that's what it takes. Starter's making noise. Starter switch is also stuck in the on position. Very common in these old style switches, so gonna have to definitely dig into the contacts on the starter, make some new cables, etc. The one thing that is concerning though is the engine didn't roll over. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna unchain it real quick. I'm gonna roll it off with the skid steer and we're gonna push it around in gear and see if we can't get it to pop or just wiggle it back and forth a little bit gently. Keyword, gently. If that doesn't work, then unfortunately we've got to dive in. First thing we do, pop the top end off. We pop the top end off and it's cruddy looking. We're going to be pulling pistons, but let's see where this takes us. I don't like to jump to conclusions, but next order of business, let's go get the skid steer. All right, got the blade temporarily held up a little bit. We do have it in gear, so we're just going to give her a little nudge. Gentle nudge. All right, now let's work it the other way. And it is nice working in air conditioning sometimes. Okay, now here's a little trick. Don't try it home. But instead of pushing from the drawbar, we push from the grouser of the track. I don't know if the angle of the camera will show, but I'll kind of give you an idea. So I use the tip of my fork or my teeth on my bucket and I'll push from the actual chain. It doubles your pushing force and it also gives you a mechanical advantage. So, see, it's doing something. Hopefully that's not the clutch and the steering clutch spinning, but it could be. Try to push the other side now. Yeah, not a good sign. Alright, try nudging her back the other way. Well, folks, I think she might be stuck. Alright, the good news is I'm kind of the guy when it comes to stuck tractors. So, first things first, let's get it over to the wash rack. We'll do a quick degrease on it. And looks like we're going to be pulling the sheet metal and doing a little bit of diving in. Not today, but that's going to be a later video. But I'm dying to know if this thing's going to run. So, this may come sooner than later, folks.